Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time clicking in, you're very much welcome. Please consider subscribing, give the video a like, drop me a comment. I'm always excited to read them. My name is Dami. I'm a student here in the Philippines. In this video, I have a guest with me and we'll be talking about his life being a librarian in the Philippines. So let's get into it. Let's get to meet our guest for today. So what's your name?
My name is Danford Malando Bage.
Okay, so
I'm from Liberia.
From
West
Liberia,
Africa.
West Africa. You moved to the Philippines in what year?
2019, June 8th.
June 8th.
Arrived
So
in the Philippines.
5 years in the Philippines, right? At what point did you decide to move to the Philippines? Who brought up the idea? Was it your opinion or your family opinion?
It was my dad's opinion.
Oh. So how did your dad get to know about the Philippines like that?
Yes, my dad was in the Philippines for 7 years,
Wow.
from 2003 to 2012.
Wow, that's a long time. So your dad,
No, I think 2000, from 2006, yes.
oh, your dad came into the Philippines in 2006.
Yes.
So at that point, your dad was like doing what in the Philippines?
He was studying
He was studying. What university?
at the University of the Philippines, Dilema, UP.
UP. Oh, okay. So I think that was what prompted him that you also take up his legacy to study in the Philippines.
Yes.
So how did you feel at the point that he told you to move to the Philippines for study? Were you excited? Do you have like expectation? Did he pull you through like what you should expect when you move to the Philippines since he lived here before?
Yes, he told me a lot of things.
Yeah.
At first, when he told me about coming to the Philippines after I graduated from high school,
Uh-huh.
I was very excited because I really wanted to come and experience new things.
Yeah. So you were excited to like leave Liberia.
Yeah. To interact with new people,
Yeah.
to get acquainted with new cultures.
Yeah. You're a nursing student. Did you decide by yourself that you wanted to study nursing, or that was like the only option you had at the time you wanted to move to the Philippines?
Since I have been knowing myself, I've always loved medical courses. Like, I love medical courses, like medical subjects, especially in high school, biology, chemistry, physics.
Oh, it's like your vision, not like you were forced to do that. Maybe like in high school, you wanted to be like a doctor,
Yes, of course.
or a nurse. But you know, studying medicine in the Philippines have like a lot of requirements. So a lot of people just opt to study nursing in the Philippines, right?
Yes.
So you said you moved to the Philippines in 2019. So in 2019, when you moved to the Philippines, what was your first impression immediately you land Manila Airport?
My first impression,
Yeah.
seeing beautiful girls. Yes, especially the immigration lady.
Yeah.
Yes, she told me that, why can't I live in Manila? Why am I going to live in Tapupa?
Oh.
It's too far.
Okay.
Yes, she wanted me to stay
Stay in Manila. So she was very nice to you.
Yes.
Like about the weather and everything, like the environment, did you have like shock? Maybe it wasn't what you were expecting, or okay, like for you, you have like your dad study here in the Philippines. So it's like you have idea of what you are coming in for, or was there any difference from what you were expecting?
Actually, what my dad told me, I've seen such things. Like, he said, if you travel to the Philippines, you should be very respectful. You shouldn't fight. You shouldn't be aggressive. You shouldn't be disrespectful. And you should be very friendly to Filipinos because they are friendly people. So when I came here, everywhere that I go, people smile with me. And people always want to help me, especially when I need help. And the Filipinos treated me
very good.
well.
Very well. So what are like the culture shock you experienced? Like things you do in Liberia that you had to like adjust to when you moved to the Philippines.
For instance, you know, based on the food aspect,
Food.
yes, I miss I miss eating I miss eating palm oil.
Palm
Yes, when I
oil.
came here, it was very difficult for me at first to
Adapt.
adjust to the food. Yeah, but right now my favorite Filipino food is adobo.
Adobo. So
Yeah,
can you make adobo by yourself like that?
of course.
Wow. So yeah, it's going to make me adobo someday, maybe on this channel. So you said you miss eating palm oil, but I think you could get palm oil in the
Yeah,
Philippines, just that is like a bit expensive. The palm oil he's talking about is like a red dish instead of the other the cooking oil we use like the palm oil in West Africa to cook some of our food. So some of us are like a bit used to it. Even me myself, I'm used to it. Did you come with some when you were coming? Oh, you didn't come with any?
I came with a backpack. I
Uh,
didn't bring any clothes. I just had my documents
wow.
and my clothes that was on me. That's all.
So you didn't even use any of your luggage. You didn't bring like your West African food. For me, when I was coming, like I kind of have friends that have studied here, so they were like, "Oh, come with few things you feel like you love to eat, pending when you will like adjust to the food." So you didn't even make any preparation for that.
No,
Since you've been living in the Philippines, have you ever experienced like racism, maybe in any form?
many times.
Really?
Yes.
So can you like talk to us about what you've experienced?
Uh, the first month, I think that was the first month I came to the Philippines. I think it was June. That same month, I went on a basketball court in my community, like Amado, Tapua. There's a basketball court there. I went there to play basketball with Filipinos because I was so
Bored.
bored. Yes,
Yeah.
So after playing basketball at night, I was riding my bicycle and I accidentally and hit a tricycle and broke his
Oh.
fuel mirror.
Oh.
Yes, and that night a whole lot of Filipino guys jumped on me.
Wow.
Yeah, they
Sorry.
started fighting me.
Wow.
But luckily a police car was just passing, and then yeah, he stopped and then he talked to them, and he told me that I should go home.
Did they hit you based on they were not able to communicate with you, or what led to that? Because maybe something led to you guys like
Yes,
having like fight.
yes, I mistakenly broke his fuel mirror on my bicycle, and then he said that I should pay for it. Like I should give him money so that I should replace it.
Okay.
So I told him that I don't have money on me right now, but let's go to my apartment. I'll give you the money. He says we are not going anywhere. He wants to take me to the barangay. Yes.
Oh.
So I told him that I'm not going to the barangay. Let's go to my house. I live up front. He said he's not going anywhere, and he was drunk that night. So and a lot of Filipino
Filipinos
angry crowds just they
came
just
to you to
yeah.
hit you. Wow. It happens, but I feel like there are still good people among the Filipinos. Okay, for instance, have you experienced like racism when you enter into like the jeepney and stuff like that? Have you ever been in a situation whereby you were not like comfortable with the way people were kind of acting in the jeepney?
Sometimes if especially I've seen that many times, especially when it's a foreigner. Sometimes those passengers in the jeep doesn't want to shift so that
You can see.
yes, they'll just even though there's space, a lot of space, but they just don't want to shift.
Want
They
you
will
to
just
sit.
stay together like this until their conductor will have to tell them to shift.
Oh.
Yes, I know he will just speak that in Tagalog so that they can shift. But and meanwhile, especially when when some Filipinos see a black person passing, they always put their hands to the nose like this. Yes, they always put their hand to the nose like this to say that, oh yes,
Smelling?
yes, to say black people smell.
I think the misunderstanding is like, I think I've tried to talk to some of my classmates, like, why do they really do that? So some of them give the excuses that maybe as Africans we have like the strong version of body scent, and that's why they cannot like condole it sometimes. Although it's a bit uncomfortable for us as people because we are humans, and as Africans we take that very offensive, but I feel like we are living with it, and I feel like these days Filipinos are getting better with foreign people, which is a good thing. Like, they are getting to understand that we are humans. They are getting to understand that this is us. This is our color. This is our own way of life. And I feel like they are adjusting. But since you moved to the Philippines, can you share with me like the good thing a Filipino has done for you, like your good experience?
Yes, the same year 2019, I was I bought a phone from Robertson Mall, the Robertson Mall, and the next day the phone had problems, so I was carrying the phone back, and then when I sat in the tricycle, my wallet trapped
Wow.
in the tricycle. Yes, and then when I entered the jeep, time for me to pay, I couldn't find my
your
wallet,
wallet.
so I got down and I ran back to where I got in the tricycle. And as soon as I got there, the tricycle rider just returned my wallet to me.
Wow.
Yeah, I had like something like almost 11,000 pesos
Wow.
in my wallet.
He had 11,000 pesos in his lost wallet and he returned it to you.
Yes.
Wow. So now let's talk about the educational system. What can you say is the difference between Liberian educational system and Philippine educational system?
I would just say the English speaking, the
Yeah.
teacher doesn't really speak
English.
English at all. He just it's Tagalog mixed with English, but it's not just English permanently.
Okay. So in Liberia, like when they teach you strictly in English.
Yes.
You know, for me in Nigeria before, when we are in school environment, we are not allowed to speak our modern language. Like, I'm a Yoruba. If I'm in school, I'm not allowed to speak. You know, when I came to the Philippines, that was like a serious culture shock for me. And I kind of appreciate it because I feel like it makes learning environment really interesting for their citizens. What do you do if you are in that situation whereby the teacher is teaching in Tagalog? What do you do?
I ask my classmates.
To translate for you.
Yeah.
But do you like talk to your teacher like, oh ma'am, I'm sorry, like I don't understand English?
And I've tried many times, but
They try to
Yes.
adjust and then they go back to it. Or some
Yeah.
teachers will be like, I'm sorry, that's just like the best way they could like teach you as a student, right?
yes, that's how it has been. So they can change it anymore.
Do you feel bad, like, do you feel like you're learning something or you're not learning something based on that?
They are just explaining the notes, but I do my own research.
To help yourself?
Yes, to help myself.
So if you were to choose between Liberia educational system and Philippine educational system, which would you choose?
The Liberian educational system is not convenient for me.
Oh, Liberian educational system is not like convenient for you, so you are going to choose Philippine educational system.
Yes.
I think that's one of the reasons why you are here. So it's because Philippine educational system is like very, very good. Do you think that the cost of living in the Philippines is affordable for
Yes.
you as a Liberian?
Yes,
Is affordable?
yes, it's affordable.
Wow. So, as a student, what's your relationship with your fellow students in school? Do you get along? Do you have issues with your classmates?
I've never had
Any issue with
my
them?
classmates before.
Do you find them helpful?
Yeah, of course. Like, that was, I think, yes. second sem, 2020. You know, I did my research at home, but you know, when I came on campus, and there was a very smart girl, my classmate. Her name is Gab Gabriel Disco. Yeah, she's very smart, and she came to me and said, Danford, are you acquainted with what we're about to do today? I said, not really, but I think
You can
I have a
try.
little bit of knowledge. She said I should explain to her, and then I explained what I know, and then she tried to help me. Gave me more knowledge. Like she tried to help me to she
To
said,
learn
oh,
more.
yes, to learn more. So, and that's not the first time. Anything I don't understand, I ask my classmates.
And they are always willing to like help you. You're very lucky because sometimes you have like the understanding Filipino, and sometimes you have like Filipino that don't just understand you being a foreigner in the Philippines. I do not really blame them because I feel like it's just the culture different and the communication barrier. Some of our classmates are like open-minded, and some are like they don't just find you comfortable. So since you moved to the Philippines, what are the lessons that you've learned as a student or as someone who left Liberia to study in the Philippines? What are the life changes you have learned to adapt? Maybe the way of greetings, like that.
Stuff like the way of greeting, the way of talking to people, especially elderly people.
Yeah. Can you speak Tagalog or Ilocano or any Filipino language?
Tagalog, a little bit,
Yeah. So at what point did you start learning Tagalog?
because some of my classmates used to
Tell you.
always, yes, they used to teach me some Tagalog words.
So what are the first 5 Tagalog words that you learned?
Some Tagalog words and along with few sentences.
Yeah.
Kain tayo, it means let's eat.
Let's eat. Okay.
Saan ka nakatira, means where do you live? Bakit ka tumitingin, it means what are you looking at me, like why are you staring at me? Bakit ka tumitingin.
Okay.
And ano ginagawa mo, it means what are you doing.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's
And-
good. More when you want to enter the jeepney, like bayad, para, all those things.
Yeah, bayapo. Bayapo is when you're paying your money. And then bayad nila is when, for instance, I'm close to the driver, and then someone
Want
give
to pass money
yes,
to you.
and then when I
Wow.
hold the money and give it to the driver, I say, "Kuya bayad nila." That
Okay.
means they're paying.
You are paying. Wow. I think you have really tried your best to adapt to the culture system of the Philippines. So do you have like any regret moving to the Philippines?
Not at all.
So do you eat Filipino food like that?
Yes, almost every day.
Almost everything. So you eat like adobo, kadreta,
Sinigang.
sinigang, piga piga, or whatever. But do you have any regrets moving to the Philippines? Have you ever one day wake up one morning and then like you regret moving here?
No.
No
I don't have
regret?
any regret. Yes.
So guys, if this is your first time clicking in, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give the video a like, drop me a comment. So will you recommend Philippines for studies for people?
Of course.
Wow.
But no one from my country have ever asked me if I could help them to come here.
Maybe because you didn't create like the awareness. Do you have platform like for us Nigeria, when you go on YouTube, you see a lot of YouTubers talking about their lives here in the Philippines. So that's like keep motivating people to come down here. So maybe it can start with you. You start to create awareness like, oh, you can move to the Philippines, like life is good here. But I think I've met 2 Liberians before in my former city and we were classmates. It's rare, but there are few Liberians here. Oh, you've never come across other Liberian? Wow.
Since I came here.
Since you came here, wow, I used to have a Liberian lady as my classmate before. So, yeah. So this brings us to the end of this interview. Do you have anything to tell the viewers? Tell them to subscribe to the channel and maybe
Subscribe to this channel,
yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
comment, and share.
Yeah. Thank you. And then we'll catch you in our next video. Bye.
Bye.